Glitter Budget with your hosts, Anjanette.
And Jess.
And in today's episode, we're discussing 1999, 10 Things I Hate About You
Yes.
from the year 1999, right before the year 2000.
Right after 98.
Yes. Yes. So, this movie, 10 Things I Hate About You, directed by Gil Junger? Junger. Written by Karen McCullough and Kristen Smith, and it's based off of The Taming of the Shrew, loosely based off of The Taming of the Shrew, written by William Shakespeare. And it has quite a young all-star studded cast, starring Heath Ledger, Julia Stiles, Joseph Gordon-Levitt, Larissa Oleynik, David Krumholtz, Andrew Keegan, Susan May Pratt, Gabrielle Union, Larry Miller, Daryl Mitchell, Allison Janney. Who else? David Leisure. There's so many.
There's a shit ton of people.
Yeah, a lot of people. And in this movie, they were all, since it was back in 1999, kind of like were right in the middle of where a lot of their careers were starting to like blossom.
Yeah.
Because Joseph Gordon-Levitt, I think, went on to star in Third Rock from the Sun. No, he was already in Third Rock from the Sun, and Larissa Oleynik also played like a love interest in that show with him.
Yes.
It was before David Krumholtz did Numbers, but after he did The Santa Claus.
Oh, yeah.
Mm-hmm,
Yep.
mm-hmm,
It was Heath Ledger's first American movie.
mm-hmm. And they were afraid that he would be too dangerous and sexy with his Australian accent. Boy, was he. But like we kind of started to say in the last episode, it was like this cast was very tight-knit. Like everyone got along really well. They all, anyway, David Krumholtz was saying that like the entire cast really melded very well and everyone had a good time on set. And even though there weren't actual sets used, everything was like an actual location.
Yeah, which I appreciated a lot. I guess you can kind of tell too.
Yeah.
But it was all filmed in was it Tacoma, Washington?
Yeah, at an actual high school, which was originally supposed to be like a train station hotel.
Yeah, till it caught fire.
And then they turned it into, but it's a huge fucking high school.
So I was like convinced that they had used whatever fuck building for this high school for the movie. So then when I found out that it was an actual high school, because, including from the time I watched it as, a tween till now, I'm like, are there schools like that? Do they exist? Like, who the fuck is going to a public high school that has a well-rounded education with plenty of diverse classes to take?
Well, when it looks like it should have been, not only, I guess it makes sense that it was once a hotel, but it also looks like it could have been a prison as well, just how large it was.
Or just a college.
Yeah, but it's Stadium High School in Tacoma, Washington, and it's the sheer size of this place is ridiculous. So I can't even imagine how many students they have in one grade, let alone all of them.
Yeah.
But it's a huge high school, and I think they based the movie in California, though. I think they're in California. Because, maybe...
I don't think so.
It's at least on the West Coast, because Kat wants to go to an East Coast school.
Yeah, Sarah Lawrence.
Yeah. And, but yeah, it's whatever fucking... Because it seemed like a lot sunnier and stuff than what Washington normally is.
True. I don't know. I could have sworn, because her dad wanted her to go to whatever college and be a Husky, which I'm pretty sure is a Washington State University mascot.
No, maybe.
Like, I don't think they try to base it anywhere else. They were just like, we're filming in Washington. We're saying we're in Washington. Like, we're not going to try to knock it off as anything else.
Yeah.
The house that was used for like their family or whatever, I guess they had like the address on there, and they used it for inside, outside, like the whole nine. Is currently, I don't know currently, but recently being listed for $1.6 million.
Yeah. I mean, it was a big house though
Oh,
too.
yeah.
And all the way around, wraparound porch, there was like a fucking patio upstairs,
A deck
like a
kind of
deck.
thing.
Yeah, where they had a jacuzzi. Like everyone was very bougie.
Everyone made money.
Yeah, I mean, he was a a doctor though. Like he was a
OBGYN
OBGYN. Yeah.
gynecologist.
So,
I love the whole like dynamic of, loosely basically they were just like their mom left them. Fucking know why. A bitch just up and left, I guess.
yeah,
So it's just single dad and he's a gynecologist, so, he's starting to see a rise in like teen pregnancies and how just awful it is. So they're just not allowed to date. Hands down, like absolutely fucking not. Like you're automatically going to go to a party and there's going to be animal sacrifice and orgies and you're going to come home pregnant and
you're gonna be addicted to drugs, and
yeah.
like he's just like a very very strict father. And the two daughters, Kat and Bianca. Kat is the older one who has no interest in dating. She's focused on getting good grades and getting into a good college. The college she wants to go to is Sarah Lawrence. It's on the other side of the country, and she's like super pumped. She actually does get in, but her father's like, no, you're gonna stay here, and not leave ever.
I don't know. I thought it was a really cute dynamic,
Mm-hmm.
but her sister's like super bubbly, popular, gets invited to all the parties.
Yeah,
So eventually, like the dynamic and story kind of comes into play where he's just like, once Kat dates, you can date. So, in walks in Joseph Gordon-Levitt's character, who's a military brat, and it's like his ninth or 10th high school.
yeah,
Um, sees her, immediately falls head over heels, and basically it's just like if you can get Kat to date, she can date. So now it's a try to figure out who's crazy enough to date her, as she
is the shrew.
yeah.
So
Apparently she kicked a guy in the nuts hard enough that he had to get them removed.
yes. Well, like they went up into him, so that they had to pull him back out.
Yeah. Gotta put them back to where they should be.
Yes. So, like we said, it's loosely based off of The Taming of the Shrew, by William Shakespeare, and in that it's like a similar concept but back in those times, the older sibling had to be married first before the younger sibling
Oh damn.
could get married, and
That sucks.
yeah. So in that this same thing where like the older sibling is kind of like a bitch, heinous bitch or whatever, and no one wants to date her because she's just vile. But in that, um, the, Patrick's character, which is Petruchio, I don't know how they pronounce it. That's who he is in The Taming of the Shrew, and he's trying to like. It's not an exact translation where like he's not. I don't think he's paid to do it. How he is in this, but there are similarities.
Okay, basically both of them though have really scary reputations. Some of what Kat has done was true, and everyone has seen like her aggression and constantly just being a bitch to everybody, like not approachable whatsoever. But then Patrick's character, nobody really actually knows. There's just these ridiculous rumors, like he doesn't have a liver. Basic biology people.
Yeah, or that he ate a live duck, everything except for the feet and the bill, I guess. And like just I don't know, that he lived with pygmies or something like that. That he was in a porno.
Yeah. Basically, he's a killer, like just all kinds of crazy fucking shit.
And like kind of some of the stuff, like if any of you have seen Mean Girls, like all this the crazy stuff that they have about Regina George.
Yeah.
In that movie is they probably took that from this movie where they're coming up with all the crazy shit that both of them have done.
They're perfect for each other.
Yeah. But interesting sidebar, when and I don't know why we did this. So I went to a Montessori school up until high school. And it was I don't even know what grade it was, but we were very young and we were doing Shakespeare. Like just taking a short little scene, and you had your little partner or whatever, and you had to perform Shakespeare, and I did a scene from Taming of the Shrew.
Were you the Shrew?
Obviously, it was me and a dude, and it's one of the scenes, and it just goes back and forth between the two, between like Katerina and Petruchio, and I think that's where. I don't know. I cannot fully recall if the guy that was directing us actually pinched my ass, but definitely my scene partner did.
What the fuck?
Yeah, because in that scene in the play, he is supposed to like spank her or like pinch her ass or something like that, and that prompts her to slap him.
Did you get a good slap in?
I didn't actually get to slap him because we had to like fake it, but I was actually pinched.
I would have actually slapped him then.
Yeah, I was very young and I didn't know what was going on, and I just realized this like the other day, and I was like,
oh no.
Oh, you know when your brain just kind of reminds you of shit that happened in the past. You're like, oh.
Did you want to track down that person and be like, I owe you the slap?
Yes, I owe you multiple. And sir, adult man that made us children do Shakespeare.
Yeah.
The fuck? Why? Anyway, so I was a little highlight of childhood trauma. So back to our regularly scheduled programming. I brought it down. I'm sorry.
It's all right.
Anyway, so
I don't know where to go from that. Where do we take this?
There were actual references in this movie to Shakespeare. Like, it's Padua High School. That's where Taming of the Shrew is based, in that city. Verona his name is Patrick Verona. I think it's his actual name or something. I don't know his last name, and one of the last names in.
I think that's right.
The show. Yeah. Anyway, I burn, I pine, I perish. That's an actual line
they
from
have
Taming of the Shrew.
Kat's like best friend is just grossly obsessed with William Shakespeare, and I guess the original writing of the movie was supposed to be a little bit darker, where she makes several comments about like wanting to commit suicide so she could be with Shakespeare, and yeah, I'm glad they didn't do that.
Yeah, I think that would have been a little bit odd. It definitely would have taken away from like this light, airy kind of romantic, like high school romantic feel to it. Like I know, having dark shit like that happen is very true to high school kids as well, but I think that you don't want to you don't need it.
No. Because I think Kat's character just in and of itself was enough.
Yeah.
Like I thought like rewatching it, because obviously like I wasn't in high school when this came out, but I remember watching it, probably the year, if not like later when it came out, and then fast forward to like high school years, especially my freshman year, I was awful. So I remember rewatching it and just been like, make anyone cry today? Just like, sadly no, but it's only 4:30.
Yeah. That was Jess.
Oh yeah.
No one noticed me in high school, so I don't have any kind of stories. I was the ghost in high school.
Oh.
So. Yeah. Trauma.
It's a blessing and a curse. I was noticed for all the wrong reasons, so it's okay.
Yeah. But I went to a Jesuit high school, so it's probably for the best that I didn't get noticed too much. Because
I went to tech.
I feel like I would have rather gone to a tech school. We both are just like you're not satisfied with what you have, you want what someone else has.
Oh, I don't want what you had either, but
no, well,
sorry.
I don't blame you. I don't think everyone's like, oh yeah, you went to.
I went to
prep.
I went to a Baptist private school from 1st grade to 4th, so I kind of already got a taste of that.
Yeah,
I don't want that as a teen.
I remember being like so excited to go to an actual school. Like this is heavy quotation marks because Montessori schooling is very different.
Oh yeah.
And when you go from that to like a regularly structured school, it's a rude awakening But I remember being so excited, and then when I got there, I was like, wow, this sucks. I hate this. It was awful. I had the worst time in high school. The worst.
I remember being excited going into 5th grade, being able to wear whatever the fuck I wanted to wear. That was nice.
It's like the rules for any kind of religious school are so arbitrary and stupid. And the fact that during the winter months, so like I went to a high school in northeastern Pennsylvania where winter months, there's winter and it's cold, there's snow. And sometimes our winter weather option would not line up with when it would actually be cold. Our winter weather option being like you can wear pants.
Wow. All right.
So they did not want you to wear sweatpants under your skirt until you got in. Like, because a lot of girls, we would wear sweatpants in
Yeah.
and then take them off once we were in. But they didn't want you to do that. They're like, you can wear sweatpants in your car. Once you're out of your car, you have to take them off.
It's fucking dumb.
Like, fuck you, dude. It's cold. How about you wear the wool skirt?
Yeah.
And like, I did not want to make mine short, but I was told that my skirt was too long by the principal.
Wow.
Or was it the dean? I don't know. She was. No one liked her, and she came up to me. She's like, "Oh, your skirt's too long." I'm like, "Isn't the issue like the skirts are too short?
Yeah.
What does it matter? It was a standard length."
She went to see your knees.
She was such a cunt. Anyway, back to the movie discussion. But
I think most people, unless you are one of those fucking people that I don't believe exists that went to a high school like that, I feel like every time that you watch a teen movie, you just want to be like, why? It gives me like a false sense of like what high school is.
yeah,
Like proms and stuff like that. Like they're always like so extravagant and elegant. And there's like this great band, and these high schools have all this stuff like that you like extracurricular activities and stuff that you can engage in, and the teachers are cool, which I guess is a hit or miss. Some can be. I feel like that's just most people's like not their high school experience. But is it a West Coast thing?
I don't know.
Like, are there just great schools in the West Coast?
Probably, maybe. I don't know. They have more money over there. Sometimes I feel.
Yeah, I guess that's debatable too. I don't know, but I just remember like every time I watched this movie, I'm like, this is not realistic. And then I was like, oh, it is an actual high school. Fuck you.
Yeah, like that would have been so. Because I forced Steve to watch it with me. I was like, can you imagine going to a school like that with all of those options? It is kind of like, it seemed like it was set up like a college, but for high schoolers.
Yeah.
Oh, and the part in the beginning where what is his name, Michael? David Krumholtz's character is talking to Joseph Gordon-Levitt's character, like introducing all the different types,
Cliques,
all
yeah.
the cliques and everything, and they do the same thing in Mean Girls. Mean Girls took a lot of shit from this movie.
Clueless. Same thing.
Yeah, I mean, maybe that's just a
I
high
think
school thing.
Yeah, and I think it's just like a 90s, early aughts, any teen movie. It's, you know what I mean? Like, that's just kind of the formula for it. Clueless did the same thing when Brittany Murphy's character came in. They do the same thing, introducing her to the different cliques.
I mean, we didn't have those kinds of cliques. There were cliques, but
we had those kind of cliques.
we didn't have. I didn't have those. I mean, I guess there were.
It's probably harder to tell since y'all wearing the same shit, doing the same thing.
Yeah, you could definitely tell the outcasts though. I was part of that group. It's like, you guys are fucking losers. We were.
I don't know. I don't know. It's got to be somebody's high school experience out there somewhere, I guess. But I don't know. I thought the movie was done like really well. Like you said, the cast, you could just tell when cast members genuinely like working with each other, and it just works.
Yeah, it was like everyone, like they didn't have to fake the chemistry. It was already there.
Yeah.
And what I don't believe is that Andrew Keegan, who played the jock, the model Joey.
Yeah.
I do not believe that he did not know how to draw genitals.
Yeah, I don't believe that either.
Yeah, because it said
Not
that
even a little bit.
it said that David Krumholtz had to teach him how to draw a penis. It's like, dude.
Yeah, no. Not
Really?
buying it.
Not.
But I love, like, one of my favorite parts is the party scene.
Yeah.
So, when she gets, I guess, Julia Stiles gets, like, super fucking schwasty face and decides to dance on top of the table. But that whole scene landed her the role in Save the Last Dance, which I thought was pretty cool.
Cool, but also it's like, really? The table dancing.
I don't know, man. She threw it down pretty good.
She did, but I feel like there could have been other. I don't know. It's like it's funny. They were watching this movie. They're like, That's our girl. That's our girl.
I love the whole dynamic too of her, like, stubbornly, like, angrily going to this party basically so her sister could go, being annoyed that Patrick is still trying to pursue her, and Patrick, like, fuck, I've never had this much of a hard time getting a girl to like me. I mean, look at this face.
Yeah.
Like, what is her fucking problem? And him obviously being very well versed in the party scene and just like, how many shots was that? Please stop.
Yeah.
Oh my God, please stop. Where do you pace yourself? What are you doing?
Yeah.
I say, man, if that was me, I would have fallen right off that fucking table. I don't even think I would have made it up.
Yeah. I don't like to think about those days because I've done a lot of things. Oh, the incident.
The incident?
We don't discuss that day.
Share with the class.
No. Anyway, so there was the band Letters to Cleo, that at the end of the movie you see the shot where they're on like this tiny little platform on the roof. It was apparently about the size of a tiny kitchen, and the band was told, like, okay, so don't fuck this up because every time we have to get the helicopter up, that's $500,000 for this shot. So don't.
One take.
Yeah, that's all
One
you get.
take.
And then Kay Henley is the lead singer of the band, and she was like, it was terrifying because it looked like the helicopter was like dive bombing us. We were like, is it supposed to do that? Like, they weren't given a heads up as to what exactly the helicopter would be doing.
Right.
They just knew that it was $500,000 for the shot, and they weren't allowed to fuck it up. I would be terrified.
I don't know if I'd be able to agree to do it.
Can you imagine how much they got paid though to do that?
I hope it was like a shit ton of money.
Yeah,
because
it
goddamn,
was windy as fuck up there too.
Yeah, no, fuck that. Because they played like the prom scene too, right?
Yeah.
And yeah, but I'm like, that's enough. However much that's good. It's
Yeah.
enough exposure and money. Fuck that.
Nah, man. I would have done it. I would have been shitting myself up there, but I would have done it. And like, there were as far as I know, there were no safety wires making sure they didn't fly off the fucking roof or anything.
Didn't look like it.
Yeah. But the shot was really cool though.
Yeah, no, it turned out good.
Yeah. I just think that just the cinematography in general for this movie was like just really cool. Like how we said earlier, like you could just tell that nothing was a set, everything was like real live locations. And it had that feel too. And it was just,
I think it brings you into the movie more.
mm-hmm. It makes you feel more of like you're actually part of the whole high school crowd and everything.
Yeah.
So I thought it was nice and special.
I loved it. I don't know. It's still one of my favorites.
And the poem that Kat reads at the end, that was done in one take, and she wasn't supposed to cry, but Julia Stiles actually did cry, so it wasn't planned, it wasn't scripted, but I think that's what made it even better.
Yeah.
And it just I get a little like, oh, when it comes to that part.
Oh yeah, absolutely. I think it's one of those things again, like you kind of learn in the movie why Kat is such a bitch and why she hates dating so much is because she did date Joey,
Mm-hmm.
and they had sex once. She's like, I don't really want to do this again. Like, I'm not ready. And, being a typical tool bag guy, like, spread all kinds of rumors about her and stuff. So from there, she was just Shrew moving forward. So I think, she finally opens herself up again to somebody, starts to let her guard down, be a little bit vulnerable, actually laugh and enjoy herself, and finds out that it wasn't originally because he liked her, it was because he was paid to do this. And of course, he ends up falling in love.
Yeah.
For realsies.
For realsies. But it was sweet. I do kind of wonder what the plan was afterwards, because she's going to Sarah Lawrence, and
It kind of sounded like he was just going to go with her.
it's implied, but they never actually say anything.
I think it's just one of those things like, it's puppy love. They're head over heels for each other. They're meant for each other. They're right for each other, considering like their personalities and everything.
Yeah.
And just the type of guy he is. He's got nothing holding him down.
Yeah.
He's well traveled. It's probably like, yeah, fuck it. Let's go to the East Coast.
Yeah, you're gonna regret that, dude.
Oh yeah.
Fucking sucks over here.
It's true what they say. We're all bitter, cold people.
We are. We are. Sorry, I just saw that Steve messaged the word goofle.
Goofle? What is a goofle?
It's a typo that makes me laugh so hard. Anyway, but yeah, so this is one of the high school rom-coms we thoroughly enjoy. I like watching this at least like probably once a year or so. I enjoy Heath Ledger. I like as soon as I saw him in this movie, like I started watching pretty much everything else that he was in, and I was devastated when he passed.
Yeah.
Like, ugh, fucking. That's the only time, like one of the few times that I guess one of the first times where like I heard of a celebrity death and it affected me.
Yeah.
It was like when he died, Robin Williams died, David Bowie, Prince. 2016 was not a good year.
No, it wasn't.
For a lot of reasons.
But of course, obviously Heath Ledger and
Joseph Gordon-Levitt.
Thank you. Obviously play again in the Dark Knight trilogy.
Yes. Yeah. Joseph Gordon-Levitt was in Dark Knight Rises. Heath Ledger was in The Dark Knight, and he posthumously won an Oscar for the role as the Joker.
You can kind of like, I remember when he was cast for it, I was just like, really? I can't see it. And then he just, I mean, obviously the best Joker, hands fucking down, fight me, I don't even care, hands down.
You have to fight us.
I was rewatching some of his older movies, so I'm like, you could see it, you know what I mean?
Yeah. Oh. Like when you watch this movie, like I think that's probably one of the things I was basing it off of. I was basing it on like the guy from 10 Things I Hate About You. He's gonna be the No, he's not. But fucking Brokeback Mountain.
Oh yeah.
And everything. Like, I think it's interesting that Brokeback Mountain was made into like pretty much like a 2-hour movie, and what the story it's based off of is like 5 pages long. It's a very, very short story that it's based off of, and they just embellished it into this 2-hour movie.
I love that stuff though.
Yeah, it's cool, and the story was cool, and they ended up Michelle Williams from Dawson's Creek and from Brokeback Mountain, Heath Ledger, together.
Oh yeah.
Or Dawson's Rivers boys. Oh God. But anyway, so next week we will be discussing Pretty Woman.
Yeah.
Okay, so Jess has been super excited about this.
It's one of my favorites.
And I had never seen it until last night.
Makes my heart all warm, but I don't know, it just gets me every time. Like every time I watch it, I'm just giddy. I don't know why.
Yeah. It was a good movie. I liked it. It was enjoyable. So we'll be discussing that next week, and then we will be discussing You've Got Mail. You've Got Mail. For all the kids that don't understand what the old school internet was all about.
You're probably not going to get it.
Yeah.
We're not going to understand.
Fuck you, Gen Z.
Running home, having to do the dial-up, AOL welcome, and then hoping and wishing that you hear, "You've got mail."
Man, those were the days, man. Those were the days. And now everything is instant.
Amazon now.
Like you get pissed if you are on 3G?
Yeah.
Oh my god, anyone remember Edge when we first had smartphones?
Oh yeah.
Ugh. Ugh. What a concept. Anyway, so stay tuned for that. All of our social medias will be linked in the description box.